power being abused and misused. So that's really why we're here, to clear that up, because a lot of people don't know they have power, or they don't fully understand their rights when it comes to even participating in ARNA. So how are you going to defend yourself outside of ARNA if you don't understand what you're in already? So I know a lot of you may have heard about me not being a part of ARNA, or that I was kicked out of ARNA. And I want you guys to actually ask me that. Who heard that I got kicked out of ARNA? Let's raise some hands in here. Who heard that? Okay, you heard I was kicked out. Anyone else heard that, I was kicked out of ARNA? And okay. So the thing about that is, like I said before, you have to understand your energy. If you don't understand your energy, then people can convince you of anything. And this is what has been done throughout our history. No matter what, people tell us we are. So the beauty about me is to understand my true power. And I feel like this is the place where I want you to understand that no one can take you out of ARNA. I don't care, like, this, it's like saying to me to go back to Africa. So I'm not just standing here for me, I'm standing here for all of you to understand that no one can take you out of something you invested in. I didn't become a national for free. Did you guys become a national for free? Did you protect you and grow with you and your family? That's what you signed up for, right? So
I like to make a clarity. ARNA does not sell you your nationality. You're born with your nationality. This is why you learn your 4 blood types. It is a body politic to protect your nationality and declare and proclaim your nationality. No one can take it from you. Just want to be clear about that. And even though you paid a fee, you pay a fee for service,
administrative,
not the body.
Yes. So understanding these things is very important to prevent future abuse and manipulation. A lot of people were even suggesting, but hey, why don't you guys just start something new? We could do that, but if we keep moving, progress is erased. And what I decided, because I know there's people in here who have questions and may not ask because you may not feel comfortable to ask, but I decided that this is bigger than me. This is bigger than whoever was, attacking me. This is bigger than anyone, because as a collective, we are stronger. And it gave me the room to see what we need to do. And I realized that I came about certain information a lot quicker than some people. So a lot of times that's what happens, but I'm here to have an open discussion, because if you're here and you have questions directed to me, again, I'm not here to talk about anyone else, but if you have questions, if you were someone, and I do want to step back real quick. I do want to apologize as well, because I do believe that there's people in here who were also affected by Indigenous of the North getting in the middle of a process. You were not able to get that service complete. You either lost your resources. Something of that nature may have occurred throughout these events and these past couple of months. And I really want to say that I'm sorry that you had to witness that, because it was a step back for our tribe. What occurred. It was something that should have never happened, but it happened. And my goal here is to see how we can repair any form of damage. If you feel like I or my previous business, which is known as Indigenous of the North, in some way, shape or form harmed you, I want you to know I am sincerely sorry if that's what you have come to experience or believe. But this is a place where we can have those open discussions, because I do not put myself higher than anyone in this tribe. So if you feel there's something that you want to address, this is the place to do it, because that's what community is about, is holding each other accountable, right? And the thing about it is a lot of people do not want to be held accountable, you know, so we have to decide, how are we going to move forward as a tribe? I personally don't think it's efficient for us to receive notice off the whim, or we have to watch 6 hours or 2 hours of video to get a new update. I think it's very insufficient. It doesn't do us justice. We have no, you know, I'm sure you guys have questions on how many people are a part of ARNA. I do not know. There's no formal record keeping of this type of information, and it's not fair to us. You know, it's not fair that if something happens to someone, we aren't able to come together and actually support that person. Go ahead. I see someone raise their hand.
Greetings, sister. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing.
Is there a reason why there is no record keeping for those who have been nationalized in ARNA? Because that is our wealth, the members. So if you're not calculating or have no form of business sense to know to keep track of the wealth, how are we moving forward with anything?
That's a great question. And that was what I saw left us very vulnerable. You know, I'm sure you guys, some of you heard that I wanted to take over and become chief. And no, I saw, give me one moment, I see your hands up. I saw a lot of vulnerability. I was very involved in working and trying to make a system that was more secure for us. But the truth is, I cannot give a full reason why ARNA itself, when it comes to headquarters, because I am not a part of headquarters. I'm a person just like y'all who became a national and took juris course. I know some people in here have took courses, and I wanted to provide and assist my community the best way I could. So I worked with what I knew. And I think headquarters is, I don't think they trust us as a people to be capable, to be honest. And these comments have been made publicly that we are not capable as a people to run ARNA. And I think there's a lot of capable people in here. I talked to many people throughout my career in ARNA to know that there's a lot of capable people in ARNA to make it great. But I do believe that a lot of information is being denied, or it's really to prevent us from understanding how vulnerable it is. You know, I don't want to, I'm not here to throw anyone under the bus, but I do feel to leave people confused. I do believe that it's more beneficial for those parties who, Ali Muhammad or Chief Ali, he runs headquarters, but when it comes to headquarters there's no headquarters. It's only him. So therefore, that leaves a very big breach to us as a nation. Because if we have to call him or try to... So headquarters need to be organized. It's been the same since it was formed. And that's really what the problem is it has grown throughout the years. And the changes have not been put in place. And that's why we're here today, to talk about how we can bring about change. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we're 10, 100, 200, 1,000, 10,000. It doesn't matter. It comes down to what the people like us are going to do about it. Go ahead. You have your hands up. Go ahead.
Yes, we do have a census. The way we're given notice is random. The channel is not efficient or effective. But it's there to access that sensitive information. As we know from the foreign venue, you just can't call up the Department of Public Affairs or Department of Agriculture and ask for the censorship. That's a possibility of a breach for national security. However, of us as jurists, at a certain level, or level 2 or level 3, should have access to that. We do it, and then there's 2 other mechanisms. Once you register, that information gets registered on the government website, and that goes into a database. Therefore, your profile and entered into another database that's a censorship, or you can do your censorship or census. Census are supposed to be done every 2 to 4 years in ARNA, if y'all didn't know.
And when was the last one published, or the update of that information, since you're bringing it up?
I don't know exactly. I received this information via YouTube. I didn't get it directly as a jurist or to the jurist. There was no jurist society, a National Jural Society at that time. But I knew that the link was there because the public announcement was made. So for you, in general, to everyone, to stay in the know, because of the circumstances at headquarters, you have to follow Ali on social media. You want to get in contact with him, most of the time you have to go through social media. This is a complaint, this is a public complaint, but we don't even know what the circumstances are or why them circumstances still continue to exist, but that's how it is. Y'all can always give him a call. He has 2 public numbers that's out, and y'all can speak and address him directly. You can form and sit down and write an email, or you can make a formal complaint and notify headquarters or Chief Ali directly.
Oh, man.
And we are paying for government services, whether it's what I saw actually move as a national. I became a national not because of Ali, and that's the biggest thing. If it comes down to allegiance, I have allegiance to ARNA, and I have allegiance to the people. You understand? So I'm not here to be a follower of anyone, and I don't want anyone to follow me. I'm here to help us, and I hope you guys are here too, to assist in the birth of ARNA, because this is a nation we are building. ARNA does not have the things that are advertised to us, and that's what it really took me to see. You know, last year we heard about going to the summit. I ended up going to the summit, and I thought we had a farm. I thought we had all these other things in place, and come to find out, you know, I heard that we aren't even able to pay for our venues as nationals. So for me, it's like, this is going to take some real work, you know, and that's really the reality, because we're going to have to build this from the ground up. You know, that's the truth. The thing about it is, when ARNA was found, he did it by himself, which again, I am beyond grateful for, and I'm sure all of us here are beyond grateful for the efforts and all the
Excuse me for the interruption. He did not instruct ARNA by himself. He was actually voted, had a memorandum of leaders in the Black conscious community, and they voted and nominated him to create ARNA. And he came up with the name. They came up with different names for ARNA at that time, when it was called ISIS. And that's video recorded and that's documented for those who don't know.
That's history that I was not aware of, but thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. So again, it's all about understanding that all systems are built by people. I think that's the key in understanding. Right now, what we have in ARNA is potential. That's the truth. We don't have the things that a lot of us, I remember when I joined, I thought, you know, it was a thing that was already here, but the reality hit me that it's not. And that's okay though, because again, we have the foundation that we need, but we have to start standing up for ourselves, because we have tolerated this behavior. Some people, I've been a national officially since 2019. But this is how ARNA has been run for years, and we have tolerated it. So all systems are are controlled by the people that are in position. But again, the final say comes down to the people. So what I'm here to say is, do you guys actually want change, or do you actually want the system to stay the same? I'm in here because I want change. I'm not
I demand change.
Okay. Who else? Who else wants change? Who wants to
organization would be good, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, I didn't even know there was this many people in ARNA. Like, I don't see, I see the Facebook and I see the Instagram and all that stuff, but a lot of time when I look at it, it's just like a bunch of negativity. I'm like, bro, hold up, is this is about?
Yeah.
So yeah, I want a positive change.
Okay. Okay. So then what? Oh, go ahead. I know you had your hand up for a minute. Go ahead, Jalam. I think I said it right. Alam. Let's see here.
Peace family. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, it's Halam. You had it right. That was close enough. I had my hand up. I was trying to comment as we were talking about, you know, the change that is much needed. The power is in the people. And as one of those people, I am at a point that change, and I've been a member of ARNA since 2019. I sent an email to ARNA desperately trying to be a part of the headquarters because I've seen how I could help bring efficiency and organization to the organization. And to this date, August 17th, 2022, I've still yet to get a response from that email. I personally am fed up, and I am willing to do what is necessary in order to affect that change for the people, because this is bigger than any one person. This is about the people, and it always has, and it always will be.
Correct.
I have the same feeling, same sentiment. Okay.
So the next step is, how do we move forward? We're not here to disrupt, again, people. So this is where our Constitution comes in play. Okay. I'm sure a lot of you all heard about the Constitution, but the best place to go for our Constitution is actually the government website. So on what is currently arnagovernment.org, the Constitution, you can pull that up. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick with you guys. Okay. So here we have our Constitution, right? So let me come down here. So all of these positions currently are empty. ARNA currently is a skeleton. This is the reality. You know, I didn't know this when I joined, and I'm sure some of y'all didn't know this, but headquarters is currently ran fully by Dr. Ali. He is headquarters. Therefore,
excuse me, just to be clear, that's your assumption because you're limited to information. And however, you told me I had the right to interrupt, and I want to make a correction before you go any further.
Go ahead.
I have personal, private information that is not a true statement. There are people, because you can't say that, and then Dr. Politon has been appointed, received his brief, and other additional material to be the minister of cosmology and spirituality. So,
absolutely.
Moving forward, you need to state.
Okay. Let me back. You're right. You are correct.
All right.
So these positions are supposed to be elected, is what I should say instead. You are correct. Even me, I'm supposed to be, well, before all the things, I was even appointed as chief jurist. And the way I came about that information was on the summit website. I was never informed. I was never communicated with about it. And that's how I gained that status. The people did not elect me to be chief jurist. Okay. So what I'm talking about these positions is that they're supposed to be, even if it's 10 of us, 10 people have the right to vote on who they want in these positions. Okay, that's what I mean by the positions them not being filled. So more so, I mean, they're not filled properly based on our Constitution. Because if someone can simply continue to pick and choose who they want in place just because they feel like it, while the rest of us are left in the air, then it's not a republic. Because ARNA is supposed to be a republic, which is ran by the people. So because
Absolutely.
I was put in place, so because I was put in place, it also let that person feel like they were also put in place to remove me when they felt they, I was no longer beneficial to ARNA or whatever the case. It wasn't the people's decision to make from the very beginning, but because again, power has been controlled in a way that we don't have a say so, it stops us from actually running a republic. And that's where change needs to come. So who has their hand up? Okay, go ahead, Aisha. So you have your hand up.
Just as a new member of ARNA, one thing that stuck to
my jurisdiction, what is in my region, how can I help and build that? How can we use the senior members or utilize our senior members for our senior resources to pass our messages back to chief who is in contact? Because I mean, what I've noticed, chief talks to certain people, that's fine. So the people who are of the juris in our community, in our jurisdiction or our region, we rely solely on them to get the messages to headquarters and send that information back. But then when you have a jury that's not getting the information back, where does it leave the people that's trying to hold the organization up? Where do they leave us? And I'm sure there are a lot of hands.
That can help. I don't need people's sensitive information. Let me hold the records. Who am I going to tell it to? ARNA? Because that's who I'm tied to right now. So we have to find ways to do better, and it's more positions. If you think about building a nation, it's more positions than a title. You don't have nothing about records. You don't have nothing about who's willing to start a bank, who has healthcare certifications, who can provide these services for our members in this region. Where do they need to go to? We have everything right here. I'm looking at it, but we're just not using our own tools, our own resources, and our communication of self and autonomous nation to do it. So we're fighting ourselves. We're doing this. We're creating genocidal acts in our own right now.
Yes, you are 100% right. And that is the sad part about this, is that I did what you are suggesting. And the thing about what I did, and I only can speak from my own personal information, and my personal experience, is I offered, again, I'm very skilled in websites and all the design and everything of that. I offered my services for free at one point before I even created Indigenous of the North. I offered to even do it at a fee. So since then and to now, I had to come to the conclusion that that people can talk about, nation building and things, but from the record, what the record showed me is that that's not what they want. So it's not about people not offering their services. It's not, again, someone just said that they sent emails, again, and no one's here looking for resources. No one's here. We're literally volunteering our time and our energy, and at the same time, we're not getting the support. We're not getting information on how we can show up for. I volunteered for the summit. I volunteered for many different areas in ARNA to do things to help build our nation. But what I had to accept is that the current headquarters that is being held together doesn't want that. And it's sad. It is a sad reality. So that's when it comes down to, what do we do next? And there's currently a political party that is in ARNA. It's called the IPPP. IPPP, yeah. And that's one, right? I'm going to form a committee. Okay, I'm not going to choose or pick anything. I'm going to form a committee for a political party, and we're going to need people who are going to feel that they're capable of handling these roles. The reality is that there's no compensation right now within ARNA. So this isn't going to be something you're going to get paid for right away, because we're going to build from scratch. That's really the truth. When it comes to this, there's no resources sitting, there's no access to utilize any fund that has been paid before. There's nothing when it comes to that. So this would literally be us being benevolent with volunteering our energy to build something that we believe in. And again, I'm not going to pick people or select people, but I know there's a couple people in here who would fit many of those roles and do it very successfully. So after this meeting, I will be sending out, not this week, but next week, instructions on how this political party will be formed. Now, the truth is, we've never had an election before, at least not since that I'm aware of. Anyone in here can correct me if I'm wrong, but we haven't had an election since ARNA was formed. So
that's an incorrect statement. It was.
So go ahead. So when was the last election?
The last election should have been in 2010 or 2000.
Okay. Well, who was elected? How did that carry out? Because that's a big thing too. I'm not here to create new rules. I want to see how we can carry out the rules that are already in place, but I'm definitely here to implement things that haven't been implemented and work towards making things better. So can you give us a breakdown on how those elections were carried out, just so that we can have the information on what we should be doing next?
No, ma'am. That would be a breach of national security. I cannot do that. And I don't have access to that information, as well as you. Even when you was chief minister, you didn't have access or awareness of that information. You have to get that from headquarters. You got to get that from headquarters.
We have to basically is what you're saying.
But I was a witness to that. I was there. So.
But these are pubs. So that's the thing about this situation with ARNA is you can't pick how. Okay, just to break down. How did you become a part of the Jural Society? Because you mentioned you are a member, right? Was this an exact membership that because I was not aware of the Jural Society until there was a case against me of people being a part of a Jural Society.
The Jural Society primary focus was to address that, and then to a particular jurist. And yes, I was appointed. I was not elected, but when you become a jurist, anybody who's certified in through honors Aboriginal University, you become the official minister. Now, just a public minister, you become an official minister. And because headquarters was not prepared, we wasn't prepared for Nnakina filing her grievances and complaints, and then show evidence of that he invoked through the Constitution emergency powers to form the Jural Society and appoint the Jural Society. And how can I say this? To stay neutral, impartial, unbiased. They're members and nationals of our political body politic are not taking office. They're not fulfilling office. And then what's making it more difficult, we are not getting the support within ARNA of people like myself or others to assist people to fulfill those capacities of being officials, to elect us into office, to elect us and put us on posts and hold us accountable. And this is what this is all about. This is a response from the universe. This is cosmetic. And it is, if you study cosmology, you're familiar with cosmology, when Nnakina is doing and what she represents, it is written. So she's actually doing her purpose. And it's in the greater picture and the greater good, it's going to serve us. I might get reprimanded for that. I don't know. I might get retaliation for that.
You'll be.
I don't. I still know.
Well, you know, get picked up.
So, yeah, we do have problems in our. We do have deficiencies, but it's up to the people to fix it and change it. And I respect her for that, regardless of what's been said and the charges and the judgment that's been rendered. This is necessary, and this is the birth of a nation. You start a history of birth of the nation. This is my new little.
It happens. It happens all the time.
Call it growing pain.
I see someone has their hands up. Truthful, I think it was you first.
Yeah. Just hearing that alone about the elections, like, that's a long time without an election, and I think that's a little odd. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because
nobody wants that position. Nobody wants Ali's position. Ali had grown people for his position, and it's different when you on the other side and you working with Ali, and you would get room for that. There's several agreements and contracts you have to do. There's certain rituals you have to go through, and people are not willing to sacrifice their life for the life of others.
And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I just tapped into his live that's going on, and we're sitting here having this discussion about tribal security and elections and all this stuff, and he's steady talking about a summit in Mexico City and talking about a chick with a lace front. So I'm like, what is
that, brother?
Yes, ma'am.
You're saying that Chief Ali has a live going on right now with this meeting?
Right now with this very important meeting.
Nice to know that meeting was sent out to, especially, I'm not going to call other people's name, but because he is the chief, we did send out invite to him to be here.
Oh, wow.
But it is what it is. But we will carry on. Teresa, I see you have your hand up. And Halam will get to you when she is done. Go ahead.
Peace, Queen. Peace, Teresa.
Peace. How you doing?
I'm doing well, inshallah.
I was at work, so I missed the first part of this, and I thought this was a meeting that came from headquarters.
Oh.
And I understand what you're saying, but I want to know what is it? Is this you're saying join the IPA to do to form a committee, but what is the committee for?
No. What I'm talking about is I'm going to form a political party. I'm going to.
But the IPA is the political party.
So when
forming another political party?
Yes, I'm forming a separate political party, and anyone who's a part of ARNA can do the same if they want to. What I'm forming is a committee where I and myself and other people who feel that they are capable and qualified to carry out different positions will be able to enlist and again come to the people, because we're going to need an election. Okay.
I thought he put something out about elections and when the elections were going to be.
Yes.
Did he just put something out about that?
Yes. And it's public.
It was recent.
We're going to have to put it again. The Jural Society is going to have to put it out again.
Is there something wrong with the dates or the times that he specified or something?
I don't know what information that you have.
No, I'm just saying, based on creating this political party, or is it party to get prepared for that? Is it to prepare for the elections?
Listen, Teresa, what she's saying within IPA, she's saying political party, but what she actually means is a committee, and within that committee, she's going to use our human institution. This is a political party to represent the interests of our people. That's what it's for. It's politicians. That's the IIPP. And that there's another entity that's under the International Political Authority, which is called IPPP.
Right.
And then she's going. That's what you do with politicians. Politicians are.
I'm not using anything that's already in ARNA when it comes to this part.
Right. Or when she's saying political party, she's really coming to a perspective on what she thinks is important and of her interest. But we can do that because each region or each local jurisdiction eventually has to have their own constitution, like
right.
States. They have their own constitutions and they have their own court systems. We're gonna have our own preamble, your own constitution, your own protocol manual, and then you work collectively together, because as a nation, we are multiple tribes and we're never gonna all come together. The Moorish nation, all of us is not going to come together. We're different in nature as a group of people. And it's always been like that since iniquity. So that's what she's saying. That's what the confusion when she's saying.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand, because I don't want to be getting in nothing that's,
You won't, sister.
I gotta be, because I've been having issues just like y'all been saying, talking about, seeing stuff that we don't like seeing, and but I do. My region is doing really good.
That's good.
And we're following protocol, and and doing things according to the plan. So I'm satisfied with that, and it's just like, I wish we all could get together more on the national level.
And that
come together more.
And my response to Aisha's statement previously, you are the bigger picture. You make the picture bigger.
Everyone.
The bigger picture is for you to organize your community, and then the people within your community family. It's community society that runs government, and that starts with people. So you are the big picture. You are making the big.
We all are. Everyone has a role. And that's another thing too. I apologize if anyone thought this meeting was organized by headquarters. We do not headquarters. We do not get paid by headquarters. This is a meeting that me, as the founder of Aboriginal Ministry, thought was the best way to bring people of ARNA together so that we can have an open discussion about our tribal affairs, because we hear, and then we go to the side and we talk here, but there's never a face-to-face community sitting where we can come together and really talk about change and what we need done. Again, I'm making suggestions based off of what I have seen. suggestions based off of what I have experienced, what I witnessed, is not even close to where we can be. We do need a basis. That's what paying dues is for, is to make sure that people are employed to be able to answer the phones, answer the emergency, answer the emails. It's not hard. Organize is not hard, but the thing is we're dealing with power that is currently functioning off of this function. You know, it's unfortunate, but we're dealing with a system or a particular person, because I feel like a lot of times people get caught up in systems and the idea no system exists without us. So ARNA is not Ali, is not me, it's all of us together. Okay, we make ARNA. So therefore we have power in how ARNA should run. But again, a lot of people use manipulation and confusion to keep people confused. There's no need for confusion. The reality is that we're not close to where we need to be. Our documents are disorganized. I heard you speak on documentation, brother, and I've been on the inside. Okay, this is why I was attacked, because I know what I know. Okay, so I'm not here to cause or create conflict. I've seen before, a lot of y'all seen any of the mess. I wanted to prevent the mess from happening because it started to overflow. But then again, nature has to do what it has to do. You know, so it's one of those things that it's unfortunate that you guys had to witness all of these things in these past months. But again, it's not the end. I know a lot of y'all thought about leaving ARNA or just leaving all of it alone. But I'm here to tell you, you don't have to. You don't have to leave. This is your foundation. This is your Sabian. You paid a cost, and I don't mean effect like money. I mean you paid with wisdom, research, knowledge, and then resources. We all paid to be here. I know you had your hand up, but go ahead because you've been up for a minute, and then Aisha, you can go after him because I want to make sure everybody's getting there, able to speak.
Peace. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
I think that there's a lot of good input that is being brought to the table. And I know that teeth and tongue fall out, but they still need each other. And I know that as a people, we are built for group work. However, I have flipped the Constitution and the protocol manual upside down, evaluating what we have. And I think if it can be made to be understood that it's not a one-man show and that other people have things to bring to the table, it will progress us forward. And I think it's important to understand that we cannot continue to keep passing the buck. As when we say things like, oh, well, we're only 16 years old, that does not equate to the lack of accountability and responsibility in any shape, form, or fashion on a macro scale or on a micro scale. And I think it's very, very important that whether we agree on every single thing or not, that we do or learn to do things in order. And I think if we just take the protocols that are there and the Constitution that's there, and how about we try to start following it, starting from headquarters, right? And I can't reach out to headquarters and not get a response for 3 years. And nobody has it. And the response that I'm given or the excuse that I'm given is, oh, we're just 16 years old. It's not an excuse. That's not an excuse in any shape, form, or fashion. And
I'll be right back. Keep going.
I am here because I want to be an effective part of change, not because it's about me. It's not about me. It's not about Dr. Powhatan. It's not about Chief Ali. It's not about Sister Nnakina. It's not about the different. And, we have to start dealing with these. That's the only way to address the problem, is to deal with it head on. And when we have people in positions that should not be in positions, that's compromising the integrity of the organization. So I am here because I want to do something about changing the scenario so that we all win. so that we all
agree.
So that's all I wanted to say. I think Sister Aisha was up next.
I would like to respond to him before you speak, if you don't mind. The second person who raised their hand in response. The reason why I said that it's 16 years old is I have history. I have been studying systems of government for the past 5 years as a jurist. And two, majority of the members act, speak, and behave like they're 16 years old. For you to point out all the information I gave, and you picked up that, and I'm telling you how young ARNA is, and then compare it to the United States, which is 200 years old, to refine and have the most advanced enslavement, slave plantation in history, in human history, is a demonstration that ARNA is 16 years old. That's why I made that statement. And I advise you, you might be upset, you might have a grievance, but it's not with me. And I'm not the type of person to debate. I'm not the type of person to pick on or try to intimidate or use me as an outlet for your grievance or your anger or frustration. I'm not the one. So I'm warning you and everyone in here, because I know what I know, and I represent ARNA. I would die for ARNA. So be very careful who you offend.
Let's not make no threats in here. I don't think he was trying to attack you. He was just making a statement.
That statement 3 times was not necessary. He never mentioned that, oh, thank you, you sent me the censorship. Oh, thank you that you helping brother out to join the Facebook group. So I'm saying who the members are. Instead of asking me questions on why I said that statement, he's making mockery of what I said and saying excuses.
Okay,
that's not offensive.
Let's pause. Okay, let's breathe. It's okay.
Is that not offensive? Oh, while I'm making excuses, that's not an excuse.
To attack you. It wasn't an attack. I understand it offended you, and I want to apologize for that. But this is not. We're not here to.
Okay.
Again,
I respect your platform, Nnakina. Forgive me. I got upset. I posted my number. My number is public. If you're man enough to say that on Facebook and through social media, you can call me anytime. You can have a discussion.
Yeah. It's not personal. I don't think it's not personal to you. Okay, and let's not. Okay.
Well, it sounds personal and it was offensive.
Okay. Well, let's keep it on solutions. Where we're moving next. Again, I saw Pharaoh the God had his hand up. Do you have something you would like to share, brother?
Yes, can I hear me? Yes, Pizza got here. This is more of a short question. When I became nationalized in 2020, I also registered my children to be nationalized. I received paperwork on one child, but I never received paperwork on another. And I've been here since the beginning of the conversation. I was just on the phone.
Who did you go through?
I went through some indigenous adults.
And when was this time? Was this?
It was around September 19th and September 24th. And I spoke to someone named Daya, I believe, and
Okay. Okay, so we'll talk. Just reply to the email when the one that you use. So our email is info@aboriginalministryofjustice.org, and just send over all the evidence of your payment, what you received, stuff like that, and we'll get you situated. Okay.
Correct. I have the invoice number. I have 2 of them because I read them back to back, so I'm not sure which one is which child.
I used to operate Indigenous of the North. I'm no longer a part of Indigenous of the North. I created Aboriginal Ministry. I'm the founder and I'm the only head of Aboriginal Ministry. And I am here to rectify any person who was affected by any procedure that happened throughout the time that, everything was disrupted. So if you were in the middle of a process and you didn't get things done and you tried to reach out to other people and get it resolved, but you still haven't received any progress, we're here to make sure that you get everything complete. So make sure to email us about that. And we will work investigating that for you and getting your paperwork and everything in order. Okay.
Yeah, I'm familiar with you guys. We spoke on Instagram a couple of times, and I heard some of the slanderous things about you. I heard you speak on it earlier. So. But I'm not gonna take up too much.
It's okay. But we're here. I do want to say that you get your documents from me. You may have people telling you that is not justifiable or is not certified, but it is. And the truth is, ARNA is a mess. I think that's the biggest truth that we all have to accept, that it is a big mess when it comes to our paperwork. It's not even about whether or not we are keeping track. There's no database that we all can even pull up our own information on to know whether or not we're in good standing, not in good standing. So these are little things that we can bring forward to create change and create order for ourselves, because we have bigger stuff to deal with. I think that's the sad part about where we're at, is this is such a minor thing that we're not able to deal with traveling appropriately. We're not able to deal with so many other things when it comes to us as a nation, because the little stuff is a mess. We have to change that. And that's going to start with election. I did hear you, brother. You did mention that no one wants to take the chief position. That's not true. There's a lot of capable people. I think no one don't want to offend Ali. It's not that people don't know what to do. People have a loyalty in a sense of they're willing to do, unfortunately, from what I witnessed, is that some people are willing to go through, because again, we have experienced genocide and denationalization. So abuse is a normal thing for us. Disrespect has become a normal process for us as a people. So therefore, even when it happens within, we don't even want to share our bad experiences. I've had people who had very bad experiences with other people, and they still didn't want to disclose the information, because that's how much they respect and love. But to an extent, how much are you willing to sacrifice yourself, your family, and the future people coming behind you? We have to learn to work in our benefit. This is also our problem within societies. We don't do things for our benefit. We don't participate in big elections. We don't know how to move in elections. These are things that are happening, and it affects us on all levels. We have to change. We have to organize ourselves. And it's offense. I think that's the biggest thing that you guys have to understand, that this is not an attack on Ali. This is, how can we make ARNA better? Okay? This is not an attack on anyone. This is, we need change. Again, I'm a jurist. I paid thousands of dollars to become a jurist, right? Many people have paid thousands of dollars to become a jurist. And I can confirm that the classes are the same videos you watch on YouTube. There's nothing different. They're not equipped to prepare us to deal with people. So all of these things that are created, they're in their baby form. There's people who practice law now that haven't taken a jurist course and know a lot more than an average jurist that took the course. And there's not people, and also there's no structure in who is becoming certified. There's no structure in who's becoming a doctor. All you do is pay, and then guess what? You have people who are not trained in how to deal with information. You have people who are not trained on how to properly store information. They're not trained in business. So therefore, you have breach of information, information being published on social media. You have, you communicating that no one's being held accountable. But this is because headquarters have done these things, and now it becomes a normal thing for all of us to think we should participate in. So we have to get the head in order. Okay, we have to hold ourselves accountable. I'm not here, I know you guys heard that we stole money from people. If you felt that I stole money from you, please raise your hand, because you were told that. Like, if you're in here and you were told that Indigenous to the North ran off with your money, can you raise your hand if anyone was in here that experienced that? Okay. Okay, cool. So the thing about why that is even a topic is because Indigenous to the North was the first ARNA business officially employing other people other than their home. Like we hired more than 9 people within ARNA, paying them livable wages. And the way the juris course is set up is not to profit the people. How much do you have to pay? Do you guys know how much you have to pay once you pay to become a certified jurist to nationalize people? You have to pay $500 out of $720. How would I be able to run operations, make sure that you guys receive calls, follow-ups, your paperwork on time, paying headquarters? Again, it's not a problem that headquarters has to get a fee. But the thing about it is, what does that fee do? Like, what happens during this time? We're told that we don't even pay for our summit. We're told that these funds are strictly coming from out of my own pocket. Those are statements that have been made in videos, so again, it's another form of disrespect towards the people. The reason you were told we did charge more than the average person because we had a different set of operation. It wasn't intention to steal from anyone. It was never a way to get over. It was to make sure that headquarters received their funds, and also our team was paid and our operation was still able to survive. That's why our fees were different. It was never to steal from anyone, like, the advertising was presented. And I just want you guys to understand that we have to come to a place where when it comes to law, we can't wait for a 2-hour video to get one information on what's next. We need change. How are we going to move forward with change? I had a suggestion. Like I said, I don't know when election is. Someone did say that, there were dates published, but I already know they're going to say I cannot participate in election. I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know what's going to go down with that, but I want you guys to know that I'm not stopping, because this is important for our children. This is important for us. It's important for all of us to be able to operate in a system. And again, you guys do not have to agree with me. I'm not here to, advocate for you guys to support me or anything. I just want you guys to understand where we're at as a nation. And it's sad. It's really sad to witness, because we have so much potential to really be out here doing our thing. Like, we have everything we need. It's just that we have to wake up and take it on and do it. We have to do it. And the thing is, you have to be loyal to yourself first. I understand loyalty is important, but if you're not loyal to yourself, then you can't differentiate what's right and what's wrong. So until we come to a place where it's not about loyalty, for me, it's about, again, even when it comes to the big elections in the United States or anywhere else, what are you riding for? Are you looking for a feel-good moment, or are you looking to see who's going to advocate on the behalf of your family? Who's going to bring forward things that you need in your community? Or is it, I don't like how they speak, or I don't like what they did, or I don't like what I heard about them? If that's the case, then we're not here to do we're not here to govern ourselves. If that's how we're going to move. You understand? You guys want to know why I really decided to ask the chief why I wanted to, and you guys can take this back wherever you want. This information is public. Say it. I don't care. This man took on a rap career in the middle of a pandemic, in our faces, in our people's face. And I'm on the phone.
Excuse me, sister. Can I interrupt you?
All right, go ahead.
I practice spirituality, but that does not take away from what I bring to ARNA. So we have to just my personal opinion, we have to sit back and see, yes, we're upset because, or I feel like you're upset or others are upset because he came out with a rap career, but honor, although it is our life, it's not every fiber of us. This man has a right to create another career. My only thing about it, I wish he would have used a different platform, change a name, do something like that, where it don't look so foolish to me. But at the end of the day, that brother has a right. That may be his outlet from his stress. You get what I'm saying? So let us not keep but we wouldn't even have that to pick on him if we thought we started the family. So let's still work in unity and what we're saying, and just maybe someone close to him can ask him to create a separate rap platform or something like that outside of honor business.
I hear you. I'm here to tell you we've been there, we've done that. So anything I'm commenting on is me actually, these things I'm talking about is I've told Ali these things before. Okay, so it's not me trying to attack him. But for me is, why would you be okay with your president deciding to live his life? Like if you're paid, that again, it comes back to understanding your work. You said you invested into having people in place. I paid dues up until this year, where I still don't know what has been done. So it's not about people being able not to live their life. It's about respecting the position you hold. So it's more so of a respecting, because yes, you can do whatever you want in your life. That's fine. But if you're holding a position where you're running part of a nation, you're in charge of me, my children, my family, there's a certain way I feel it should be ran. And on the time, like I said, if you feel like there's something you need to do with your life, then step down. Let people who are capable or help put the people in place to carry out those things you feel you don't want to do that anymore. Not an attack. So I think that's not what you got from what I was saying.
Yeah, no, sister, I don't think you were saying it. Okay. I just understand your frustration, and I see
you're right.
How you're trying to separate his personal life from his national. I mean, and I do understand that, but since we are speaking on dues, and we're saying we are members of a republic, we are members of a republic. We play. What was that 360 vote? Because I did. That the summit was going to be our headquarters. That the summit was paid for out of his pocket.
You're going in and out.
Right on our dues, right on our dues paying for the summit. So it made me feel like first, okay, maybe the dues weren't enough. Because if he still have to come out his pocket, maybe the dues wasn't enough. But what exactly are the dues for? If we can't at least get the phone picked up or email answered, what are we paying? His rent?
Yeah.
I mean, that's my question. What are we paying? And when another parent a year, when I paid $360 a year and they shut off all these lights or the system crashed, I'm coming to Chief House. Because that's where my dues go. That's where we will have a generator where the lights will be on. We will buckle down, and that's how we're gonna do this. But I don't think we are there mentally. I'm trying to push us there, but that's what we should be making sure that we have for us and our dues.
Yeah, right.
Movies in the bowl of cereal.
That's exactly the case.
Yes, please. I like this brand.
I saw why I take this so seriously is I saw myself sacrificing to pay dues. It's not cheap to nationalize. We all know that, right? We've all been here. There's some people who haven't been through the process, but we already know it's not cheap. But if we're paying into this, right? And we're getting, even if it's a report on, even if it was 3 people that paid, we deserve to know where our money goes, because if not, then it's worse than paying taxes. Because if you feel the entitlement that a group of people owe you for the rest of their life, and and I honestly, again, I can't speak for him. This is my opinion, but I do feel there's an entitlement when it comes to the platform that was created. And it's unfortunate because that's not what we're here for. I did not join to be a part of a cult. I joined to be a part of a nation and help contribute and build a nation that my children can grow in. So that's why I'm here. I see Minister Jeff. Okay, go ahead, Jeffrey.
Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me?
Hey.
Well, first of all, I want to say, I'm grateful and honored to be in the presence among, my people, and I'm really honored first and foremost. Now, I can't say I understand the historical perspective of what has happened in the past, and really, I can't put a lot of energy on that. What I gotta put energy on is where we're going. And what I find is by me spending the last 13 years building what's called a self-sustaining intentional community, I said, I don't mind our platform of being a ecclesia structured cooperative nation type of entity, maybe being like the infrastructure underneath ARNA or partnering with ARNA so that it could be a collective cooperative. It's almost like all the pieces of the puzzle that you guys need as a nation never has been set up in this totality. And maybe I'm missing a lot of the pieces of the puzzle. But what I found out is because most communities in, say, America are not sustainable. Well, the reason why ARNA is not sustainable is because it has taken the energy from old systems that don't work. And until you make the change, until you buckle down and say, well, look, everybody needs to be at the table working, everybody needs to be at the table eating, but if you're not producing anything for the longevity of your children's children, then you're really just part of the old way of doing business. So I'm not here to make any major changes. What I'm here is to work in harmony with the uplifting of humanity, with the systems that we have, because we're looking at about 300 and I believe it's 23 million people around the world that has been disenfranchised because of the color of their skin. And because of that, we said, well, why don't we give what we have so that we can now start producing all the stuff that we need, whether it's food, clothing, shelter, energy, whatever. At least we can be producing stuff for ourselves, benefiting from the wealth we create. So that as a nation, we're no longer what's called a dependent nation state. And I have my press release, which you think you have access to, in our organizational chart. And I showed you, we actually listed ARNA as being, it's almost like an ecclesia, Native American or Aboriginal American nation that we partnered so that we can control the narrative versus everybody else controlling the narrative for us. So I just wanted to share a little bit of what we bring to the table so that you guys know you're really not by yourself. You really have a group of like-minded people that have nationalized Moorish ecclesia structure. Denationalized to the point where, I shouldn't say denationalized, but we set up our own banking system under the 13th Federal Reserve in Bermuda so we can actually be the lawful money for our people to use in our society. And I tell people there are no people who are poor in our community, because if a man doesn't work, he shouldn't eat. So what we did was we allow people that do volunteer work in the sustainable community to use that to pay for everything that they need, whether they need food, clothing, shelter, it doesn't matter. We created a K through 12 program so that all the children, by the time they graduate, say 12th grade, our sustainable community will gift them $500,000 so that they can take the next chapter in their life versus going into debt to start their career. In addition to that, we created our own self-insurance fund so that everybody in the nation, out of 325 million people, pay $275 a month to the self-insurance fund for life insurance, health insurance, property insurance, and car insurance, so that everybody is covered, and we can actually reduce anywhere between $500 to $1,000 per family in saving from insurance. So if you don't control the narrative and everybody else controlling the narrative, we can't win. And I think that's what the problem is. We're letting everybody else control the narrative versus us controlling the narrative ourselves. So all we did was create a cooperative organizational structure underneath our church so that we can be in the world, but not of the world. Underneath the covering, it's called an ecclesia governmental structure that we recently got approved, which you guys do the tribe. And now we're really a nation that has a structure that can actually use the systems from banking, point of sales, manufacturing, all these different things that we can manufacture and produce. And 25% of all the money that we make around the world is shared by all the members. So we say, why can't the members get to take meeting too? And that's all I want to share today, y'all.
That's the beauty about, like, that's the thing. There's so many type of people that ARNA has and are missing because I feel like the system is designed right now to keep us small because it's easier to control. But there's a lot of people who are in different positions in different areas of life that are on the path that we're on. We're not out here just thinking different. There's a lot of people who want to do different. There's a lot of people who want to be better. There's a lot of people who know laws, who know different things in society that are getting turned away from ARNA because of what they're seeing. And that's really one of the biggest problems that I witnessed is I decided to create Indigenous of the North because, help build Indigenous of the North because I realized a lot of people were turning away because they didn't have the reliable platforms that they needed to be able to get clarity. And that's the issue because this ARNA is a beautiful foundation for us all. Like, it doesn't matter where you've been, what organization you're in, it is a beautiful foundation for us to build. I don't believe in us going somewhere else and starting something new. Why would we do that? Like, there's no need for that. We have one or two problems that if we want to change it, we can change it. We have to understand that we as a collective have power. I see someone has their hand up. Go ahead.
Excuse me. Thank you for your...
Excuse me, I'm sorry to cut anyone off, but can Brother Jeffre can you please leave your information? A few people in the chat are asking for your information.
Yes, thank you, sister.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Someone else was saying something? Go ahead. Was there... Okay. So what is next? And that's the thing I want to hear. All of us, we've been in here for over an hour now. What do you guys want to do? Because I feel like we've never had that asked before. What do you all think we should do? What do we want to do? Like, go ahead. I see hands up. Anyone can go first. It doesn't matter. I think you both put up your hands.
I'll go ahead. Pretty much the same thing the other guys and guys spoke on. And even you know, mentioning it's change. Because right now, at the present moment, it's not looking good. You mentioned it earlier, this is sad, and I concur. This is sad. I heard some of the guys and goddesses say they've been waiting for replies over years. I've been waiting for a reply myself about my child paperwork for almost a year next month. So we
did you
it's a good amount of us.
Did you reach out to headquarters about your paperwork since you were Indigenous in the North?
I sent an email to Dr. Ali. I can't remember his email by heart, but I sent one. He replied back and said send him the information. I sent it, and no reply since. So I'm actually glad that you called this together because we do need change. We need order. Otherwise, if there's no order, there's chaos. And right now, it's kind of chaotic just to be.
And it's important for us to understand that right now, what we are witnessing is energy trying to keep us distracted, because we are in a big shift that's happening. There's a big power at play, and it's not just between, you know, me or anyone else. Like it's bigger than any of us. And our goal, and I think that's why we're attracted to ARNA, is because we understand that ARNA is a part of the play. But we also have to understand that there's right and there's wrong. And I think we have to not hold anyone to a level that cannot be judged. I think we all have to hold each other accountable and ourselves accountable for our services, our whatever it is that we have done or we plan to do in this nation. Because I saw it. There's a lot of, I don't want anyone involved in my business, and I don't want anyone, and that's not okay. We're a community. We are a tribe. We are here to grow with each other, and we are here to do better. You know, the thing about why there's so much mess when it comes to jurists is because there's no proper leadership in it. You know, you always hear, oh, jurists this and that, and jurists are always pushed under the bus. But the truth is that they pay just like you and I. They pay like everybody else. And they're informed just like everybody else about new information. So that's really why there's such a big problem in procedures. You know, there's no one way. There's no one, like, the chaos doesn't have to exist. So we have to restructure courses, government, everything needs to be restructured. But this is the difference, is we're coming together and we're deciding as a community, how will that happen? What do y'all think?
Okay, thank you, sister.
Can we start with checks and balances, however that looks in the eyes of the leadership?
So do you guys feel like you all would want us to see if we can organize another meeting with headquarters? Or, because the thing is, I already know what's the result of another meeting with headquarters would look like. He's going to get on YouTube most definitely and say that it's not real, that what we're doing is not valid. And that's literally the way things will be. But we can send out a formal meeting to see if there can be some form of, you know, communication within all of us, and just talk about how we can come together. Then based on that, we can decide how we will move forward. Whether, again, we as a people have the right to invoke an election. We can set up dates ourselves. We don't have to wait on headquarters. I recommend you guys study your constitution, understand your power as a national, so that you understand what power it is that you hold as a person who participates in this. You didn't just sign up to give your money away. You signed up to have a voice, right? So there's a link to the Constitution. Read that. Get familiar with it. Get aware that you have a voice. And I think the problem is that people try to let the people feel small, because they know as long as people feel small, they won't say anything. You know, these are tactics that are used to keep us from moving forward. Either for you to say, oh, I don't even want to be a part anymore, or I'm just not going to say anything. And then it continues. I don't want this to be my problem again next year. This, I'm not going to be doing this next year. So I don't have time for this to be, go ahead. I see someone have their hand up. You're mute. Unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Okay. So, I'm Master Bey. I've been a part of ARNA for a long time. Mm-hmm. Right? I done seen people come and I done seen people go. The thing that I think most people who genuinely care and who's genuinely trying to build miss certain things. The system knows that we are supposed to rise. They've been doing everything in their power to keep us from rising. So some of the people that you see within the organization causing havoc are operatives. They are designed to be in there to cause the problem. Yes, they will take the course to become a jurist. Yes, they will take the courses to become in certain places, and then not perform.
Viewing who's coming in, who's coming out, and that's why it's like that.
But you can't check everybody. You can only see people's behavior as it plays out, right? So until everyone knows fully the Constitution, the protocol, et cetera, ain't nobody in a position to check Chief, because he put it together and he did a magnificent job. And at this time, nobody is qualified to be chief but chief. Okay. Nobody is qualified to be chief but chief until we can put
what makes him So, okay, I like that point that you just made. So, are you saying that no one is qualified because they don't know the Constitution in and out and the protocol manual in and out?
That's part of it. But the other part of it is the laws and the commerce laws that gives us the freedom to interact the way we want to interact. Right now, see, it's almost like a child judging a parent. You're looking at your parent and you are able to see, well, that don't look right, that don't look right, that don't look right. But when you are in that position, you tend to act the same way the parent do, because you didn't see the stresses and the ins and outs that the parent have to deal with.
Okay.
The man is still doing a magnificent job with what he's working with. He's one individual. I've seen people come in honor with outright good hearts and get into these positions and take people money, and then it gets looked at as chief doing it. He ain't doing it. He can't check everybody. Even in the system that we are cultivated in or indoctrinated in, you can't check all them.
Okay, I see someone else.
I think the thing that everybody gotta realize is that it takes every individual to do their best, and then you become an aid. And when you become an aid, then the system gets better. But you can't just keep pointing the finger at that man like he done a great job. Like,
I hope that's not what you think this meeting is. We're not here.
That's what it sounds like.
No.
That's what it sounds like.
Okay, well, let me clear this out. I see you have your hand up. No, I am someone who took, I took my resources. I've collected other people's resources, and I paid headquarters myself. I've been accused of things. I've heard people, and people also have been left in the whim by someone telling them to take back your money or to come over here and I'll take care of you. And that behavior was not because they wanted to protect the people. It was not something that was done for the benefit of the community. So I can speak on what I know because I've been on the inside. I understand what you're saying, and I'm not here to say that I'm more qualified. I hope that's not what you're trying to or take. I'm not here to say I'm more qualified or anyone else. This is a community thing. I don't think anyone is qualified to have any position, but that's where we come together to communicate with one another with what we need. Ali is not the only person capable to run ARNA, and I think that's very disrespectful because we don't know who's in ARNA. We don't know all the people who's in ARNA. So to say that he's the only qualified person when he has shown us disrespect constantly through different forms of action, I think it's very disrespectful to the people here showing up to have an open discussion about change for our community. I think community starts with the people, not one person. Go ahead. Who has their hand up? I think Arkan, you had your hand up first. Go ahead.
Pardon me, Master Bey. I want to respond to that is a factual statement that no one in ARNA or outside of ARNA has demonstrated or have the experience to be qualified to do what Ali has done. So therefore, he created the Aboriginal University. Now, I'm not going to be petty. People who are complaining and grievances, we have a body politic. You can create a business in an institution that will protect you commercially, financially, and politically. As a jurist, private lawyer, as a cosmologist, or naturopathic doctor, and then you can do that within your community, within your family, and then contribute to your local jurisdiction and promote the people around you. So that is a true statement that people are not qualified, but people are not willing to do what it takes to be qualified to do what Ali does. And then when people do, like someone like Jeff, who has the experience, and he's at that level, he's at a political level where he's influential, and he actually has a entity that can be identified, verified. He has to go and get qualified and work with Ali. And it's like working with anybody. You ain't gonna agree with everybody that's in honor.
Where does Ali need space for people to work with him, to learn, to grow? Where do they go work with Ali? Since you guys are here, you're saying people need to find a way to open themselves up to access their leaders.
Well, you have, Nnakina, you're an example of that. You've been to his home. You've seen his children.
I only went to his home for the summit night. I've never been to Ali's home to sit down with him. Every time I communicate with Ali, I paid Ali. I've never gotten a free service from Ali. I've never gotten a free book from Ali. I know.
Then you have more access to him than most jurists or national.
Speaking on these matters, I did.
Okay.
People are telling me I don't know what I know. And that's why for me it's because it's not true. Right. Ali does not worry about ARNA's business. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, he gets on YouTube and he talks, but the reality is he shows us every day he does not care about you like you think he does. I've seen this. Have you guys not seen this man praise me and my family? Have you guys not seen him give award to other people and then tear them down? You don't really think Ali cares about you?
That's not what the question was stated.
What's next? Let's just figure out what's next.
So the delusion coming off.
You're stating, but the thing is, you said it was disrespectful for us to say, particularly Master Bey, me, Arkan Shabazz, that no one is qualified. And that's a true statement. But people can make themselves qualified to hold that position.
Ali is not available. Ali is not available to sit down.
Listen, the information is out there. Look at brother. He didn't get that information. Look at Jeff. He did not get that information from ARNA or any other organization. He went out there into the world like every other nation, every human being on this planet, and go get the information, and you qualify yourself for a position in this tribal government, in this organization. That's good.
The thing about it is I want to create spaces. I'm not here to become the chief of ARNA. I'm here to create spaces so people of great minds can come together and build a nation where we all benefit. So for someone to come and say that no one is, I'm not here to take Ali's place. I don't want to be Ali. I don't want to be Ali. I don't want to be the head of Aboriginal ministries. I don't want to, I am the head of Aboriginal ministry. I don't want to be the doctor. I don't want to be that. I want to see a community where people who gain knowledge can come to a place and build together. But the head,
I agree with that, Nnakina. I agree with that.
I can tell you he stopped because I've had people who gain other information and knowledge, and I myself presented these information. Like, Chief,
we all have dysfunction. We learned that in our cosmology. We have a function and a dysfunction.
So that's what is happening. It's not an attack because, of course, we're all here because of Ali and the work he has done. That we're not here to take credit away from the work that he has done, but it's also time to wake up. Because if we want to stay stuck in this the way it is, then there's no reason for us to have this meeting. This meeting is not.
You're gonna have it. Someone else is gonna have it. It might not be public. So.
The thing is, people are here for change. We're not here to debate whether or not Ali is right or wrong. We're about how can we implement. You guys are saying that people can just talk to us. How many times have you guys called Ali and not get a response? How many texts have you sent? How many emails have we sent?
Excuse me, sister.
Go ahead.
Excuse me, sister. This is Queen Aisha again.
Okay.
Since we're talking about what is happening next, you got your pen, your notepad. The biggest complaint that I've heard was a lack of communication, effective communication with headquarters. So can we put that as number one goal to work on? Anybody else have a contribution for the second thing to put on the list?
Are we going to give these people their money back? That or not? If they can't get their money back, to get them who's willing to get them the documentation and stuff that they need, that they're missing, that they paid for.
Depending, so that see right there, that's where the problem comes. There's no one in place to check any jurors. There's no one. Their headquarters is not designed to check anyone, and I hear what you're saying about the money, but if headquarters acts the way they act, and then other jurors comes in and carry out the same thing. I had people,
but all jurors are not like that. They're all not like that.
I understand.
We now have, that's not a true statement. We now have a jural society, and we're prosecuting people.
Hello, anybody there?
Service. So that's not a true statement. We have gave adjudication to 3 individuals. And
we can hear you, sir.
All signal has been lost.
People talking.
Hello, who is saying hello? They're gone? Okay. So it's not the thing about it is the Jural Society. Come on, Arkan. They're hand-selected people that will agree.
That's not me, sis. That's not me.
Yeah, peace. Sis, that's not Arkan. That's somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah,
this is the same individual during Dr. Powhatan made a rude comment against me. That's why I lost it. Because this is the same person. And then he took this opportunity here in this meeting to say, oh, I'm making excuses for honor. That's why I responded that way. And this person is a coward because he's hiding. Because I'm trying to identify who he is. Now, he shouldn't have pushed me and tried to pick on me. I don't know why this guy is singling me out and he's picking on me. I never did anything to offend this person. I don't know what this person looked like. I don't know where he lived. But I'm going to find out today. Because who I know probably know him.
This is a safe space for all of us to speak and give our opinions on our tribal affairs, but let's not target people or single out people in that way. Okay?
Well, but what you're saying, I have been singled out.
I see what you're saying. We're going to address that, but that's the thing. We need other ways for us to address things, and there's no order in that. You know, our chief should have been here. I didn't call this meeting to look like I'm headquarters. I hope that's not what you guys. This meeting was called. He was invited. I wish he was here. But when it comes to people trying to get a hold and access to have these conversations and have the support and give their support, they don't show up. He doesn't show up. I've seen meetings that he doesn't show up to their meeting, to the inauguration of the event. He doesn't, he again, it sounds like you're attacking him because he's the only full symbol of headquarters at this time, but that's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to say is we need to get organized. We are in dysfunction for no reason. It's unacceptable when it comes to paperwork. Do you know, I don't know who's here, but your paperwork is not on file unless you, I was told the first time I nationalized that I had to email my paperwork somewhere to someone's email. Those are things that a system like ours we don't need to be on that level. There's more than enough things for us to build and protect ourselves. And one, when someone is facing some type of violation or discrimination, no one can be found. So it's about, if we're paying dues, go ahead, you have your hand up.
We have.
Are you asking me or someone else?
Who you call on to speak?
Yeah, you have a number of people that had their hands up. So who can speak freely?
Go first, Master Bey.
Okay. We have everything within the protocol and the Constitution to protect ourselves. We don't, every jurisdiction, every individual that studies the paperwork, with comprehension and no fear, have everything that they need to protect themselves against the city, the state, etc. We don't need headquarters for that. That's irrelevant. That's an irrelevant point to me, because I've been around, I've seen it, I've done it myself, I've operated with protecting myself.
I've operated that way too, so I know what you're talking about.
Right? So the issue the focus shouldn't be about headquarters. If the focus is about the community, then let's see how we can help each other raise our comprehension so that headquarters.
You're going to do that without headquarters involved.
Because we don't need them.
You don't need headquarters to self-rule yourself.
So the thing about it is, it's not about that. It's about once you start doing that, then you're going to hear people start making claims.
That's fine.
Doing things, but listen, this meeting isn't about just. I wanted to bring people together, people who have different opinions on me, people who are my friends, people who are not my friends, people I've never known, because I think community is not about people who just like you. The thing about headquarters, it's a favoritism, pick me type of energy, and then it puts itself in the face of what we are. So my thing is, we have to step up as a community and not just allow anyone to just take full ruling over our image as a nation. Again, we don't have, so it's not about not operating as a community and not worrying about headquarters, because if you have headquarters on YouTube telling people that these people are not, they're no longer a part of ARNA, they're kicked out, they're this and they're that. Now you have other people in fear of doing operations moving forward. So it's not about singling out headquarters. It's about bringing order to ARNA first. Because once order is put in place, because we're setting the foundation. And that's what I want people to understand, that we set the foundation. Yes, he created it, and he made the shell. Us who are the arms, the legs, the fingers, the nose, the eyes, we all have experiences that we cannot share with one another because it's not in the protocol. Protocol has not been updated since 2014.
Then come up with some ideas to advance the protocol.
I have.
But what the thing is, I don't know how long most of y'all been in there. I've been a part of ARNA since 2008, 9. Right? So I know that the things that's in a protocol is relevant and it's operative. You can use it, right? So the average individual still don't comprehend it though. That's the issue. Headquarters is not the issue. Headquarters is not the issue, because in every system, even in our own body system, we have free radicals running around there, and we don't know how to get all of them out, right? So we got to cleanse ourselves too, and hopefully that our minds can function more better. The things that people are given, the complaints that are being pushed towards Chief is not necessarily his complaints. There's somebody else's complaints. Because he is looked at as headquarters, then he becomes the last result of those complaints. But he ain't the one doing that. It's individuals getting into it, not properly understanding the information, and then trying to do something. So, how do they get? The thing about it is, when it comes to the courses that are the thing about it, I understand what you're saying. Let me say this last part. I'm gonna stop. I'm a cosmetologist. I've been a cosmetologist for like 20-something years, right? Everybody that get a license doesn't work the same. They take a general test to show that they are approved to do cosmetology, but it's on the individual to further their education, to do trials and error with certain things to see if they can come up with something new, et cetera, et cetera. So just because he has a course and it says, okay, you don't pass this level to say that you're qualified to be this, doesn't mean that he got to sit back and then be responsible for every single thing.
It's not about him being responsible. It's about you're paying for So then it means we shouldn't even have ARNA then.
You're not paying, you're contributing. You're contributing.
You're people that you're
contributing
because they pay food.
I hear you, but you're contributing to your own advancement.
But
that's what you're doing.
An advancement if it's been the same for years.
No, but we're all advancing though.
The thing about it, I agree with what you're saying, but the thing about it is, I was in your position. I was pro whatever was hitting ARNA and the website where he was collecting the payments. And the truth is, you know why most jurors don't even want to deal with other people when they pay somewhere else? Is because headquarters expects people to do work for free as employees, and they're not employees of ARNA. So the thing about it is the system is a mess. People say
you ain't gonna have no community.
I never worked for ARNA.
Sister Ali can tell you everything that I do for people, I do it for free.
But that's not a good
because it's about the overall goal. It's about the overall goal for me, right? So I'm not looking to make money off of people trying to get their stuff done.
I'm here to build, and I'm here to help other people build, because at the end of the day, we can only go so far with a good heart. So I'm not here to promote people into doing things for free. That's good if that's how you feel, but this is whatever you feel is your purpose. You can do that, but I'm here to, how can we create a system where we function, where we grow spiritually, where we grow financially, where we can hold power, because at the end of the day, money is energy. So doing things for free it's a good thing when you can do that. But I'm not here to promote that anyone should do services for free, because I paid and other people took their resources. So exchange of resources is not a bad thing. So what I'm saying is we cannot hold these good-hearted things and hope that we continue to grow. This is not an attack on Ali. This is an attack on a system that has not been benefiting us the way it should, because again, we put resources into it to do that. I never signed up to be no guinea pig and drain my energy and my resources for free. I volunteer and I choose my time, but I'm not paying anyone $360. And I pay dues for my children. I pay dues for everybody because there was no understanding of how you do it. So the thing about it is a system that's operating in confusion to reap off of the people and abuse the people is not a good system. So if that's how you feel, if you feel that people should just contribute their energy, you can do that. But I'm not here to advocate anyone to do that, because we deserve better. We deserve to respect ourselves. We deserve to be valued in something we are putting our energy into. You understand? So for me, that's just not what's going to go down. But again, if that's how you want to side, that's how you want to move. You understand? But we need to decide how change is going to come about. This meeting is for us to openly discuss. Someone said lack of communication with headquarters. So we need to decide who's going to reach out to Ali and tell him about this meeting and let him know that we would like to have another meeting. We need at least 3 or 4 people as witnesses to make a personal contact with him, whether it's phone call, email, text. And this is you volunteering your time. There's no one we're going to assign, but we would like you to volunteer to let him know that we would like to have a meeting with him to discuss these things and see how we can bring change about. Who's going to volunteer? 4 people who can say, DM him, message him, email him, and hold your thought as a witness when it does come back. We have to meet one more time if we're going to have it.
Sister Nnakina, when he did the YouTube comments to you, he's aware of this meeting.
He's aware? Okay. So basically, we would just waste more time trying to even have a conversation with him.
I mean, you can make the assumption that's your opinion. It's for him to be
That is my opinion. Knowing him in personal contact, I know that he's not going to participate, but if people need to witness this for themselves, if they reach out themselves and see if we can have open communication with headquarters. No, he has told people that I'm not a part of ARNA. He's never told me that. I'm blocked on all social media from the day it all started, so I don't know.
So you never received notice from headquarters or the Jural Society that you?
I did notice from Jural Society. I was involved in ARNA up until that very moment, and Jural Society did not exist. I did not know the people who were contacting the Society. So
Let her speak.
That information, because it was not fair and just for me to be attacked in this
way. Here you go. You're getting ready. God, I got two trolls in ARNA. One I know of and one I don't. That's fine. I have a private investigator. I'll find out who he is. What I want to say is to reinforce what Master Bey said. There's nothing stopping us in headquarters should not be an excuse. Ali's behavior that's socially and politically not acceptable shouldn't be an excuse, because Ali has made this information public. It's available, and you can purchase it or you can go somewhere else. He's not the only one that know how to create a public site. You need a public site to create a local jurisdiction. That is standard. That is protocol. That is public information. You don't have to purchase from Ali. There's three other black organizations for ARNA.
I paid thousands of dollars to be a part of ARNA, and I know a lot of people in here who have paid. Are you saying headquarters in some way may refund all of us and we will start another public site?
No. Do you have a public site to make that statement?
No, that's why I was wondering why the suggestion of.
I want to say something, and then I'm going to get off of this call.
Because, okay, sister,
I'm feeling these vibes, and what it feels like to me is that you don't like something that a person does, or a way they carry themselves, or how they run their business. So you want to approach them, but they're not approachable. So what do you do? Because you paid somebody something. That's just like you go to college, you pay them the money for college or whatever, and you learn what you learn, but that doesn't make the college accountable to me for anything.
So
the college is not accountable to me for anything. I paid money. I wanted to attend. I wanted to learn what I learned. I learned what I learned. And then if I deal with certain people, situations, I pay for something and I don't get it. So either I'm going to talk to that person and try to rectify the issue, or I'm just going to move on. I'm not going to try to make them change how they do things. We could bring things to the person's attention or whatever, but we have jurisdictions, and each of those jurisdictions have a person in charge. So if your jurisdiction is doing what is set out to do, what ARNA stands for and all of that, then I don't understand why jurists can't get together and talk to this person. And, I don't understand that, because they had meetings, right? And why can't this information be brought up at these meetings? You bring information from your community, issues within your community, you bring it to them and then you talk about it. We've been to his house. We've talked to him about certain things or whatever, and asked questions and stuff like that. So I don't understand why it has to be a certain, like, okay, let's get together, get this thing together, this political party, and then we're gonna do it. Just sounds a little fishy to me. So it's like, okay, yeah, I understand. We all got our faults. We got our things that's just crazy or whatever, dysfunctions. But in the end, who are we? We're judging. You know, we're judging. So it's like, I don't like certain things. So okay, I'm a chill out for a little while. I'm gonna sit back, watch, see how things unfold. But if it really bothers me that much, I'm going to say something, and I'm going to be professional about it. I'm not going to be ignorant and just go all crazy and stuff. And people going to run their show like they want to run it. And like he always say, if you don't like it, you know how to do your own website, get your own thing together, and you can do that. You don't have to take something that somebody else has built because you don't like the way they run it. Take what you know that they already done and change it at your place. You know what I mean? Change it to what you want it to be.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you.
I like that.
That's what I was going to say.
I just want to interject on that comment. What is the point of something being built for nation building? To build something, and just because someone does something that you don't like, and then one person steps up and comments on that, what would be the purpose of splitting and veering off from the original organization? That's Black people's problem now. Like, why would you want to go and start something separate? No, we are a tribe.
Right, and
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the personality. It doesn't matter what you don't like about someone. It doesn't matter if someone is going through something at a time where they're not maybe focusing on the things that they should be. We should be working together. Collectively.
Wait a minute. So the United States was created by 13 colonies. Then them 13 colonies created a federal government, and then it created. Then they made our allegiance to the federal government to become states, and they got their state, which is in our protocol manual, and that's what ARNA is using the same template because we can find that in nature. It's like any other business or entity or commercial entity duplicates itself in different areas, and you form your local jurisdiction in that local jurisdiction. So, sister, that's how things are done. That's how things are.
And I understand that, and I agree with you. But we have to understand that we, as Black people, have gone through traumatic experiences, and our families are in disarray and dysfunction. So, at that point, we have members of Black families scrambling to find like-minded people to build with. And then we can worry about everyone else. But this is something that has been built and already has a following, already has a collective of like-minded people. Why destroy the on
it's not big. We ain't trying to destroy this.
It's not destroying the origin of that. All the one that's built and that we're originating from is expanding. But you can't expand it. You're saying like you're saying it's like, but that's the blueprint. That is the protocol for you to duplicate. Ali has built for us, and you build it for your own people, your own family, your own community. What do you say? So you're saying you don't want to do that? That's your right. That's your choice. But to say he built it and then you don't agree with him, or you're not satisfied with the services that you did for him, you can build. And then he's not preventing you from doing that. But the thing is not to become a rival, not to become competition. That's the issue. That's what is really not being said and not being spoken.
The thing about it, this is the problem with Black people, and I'm going to say this, and because the thing about it is, do you all really think this meeting is for me? Like, do you guys really think I'm here? This is a meeting for our community. This is not a meeting to attack anyone. This is not a meeting to go after anyone. This is a meeting where some of y'all never even been in a meeting before. This is a meeting where it's about coming together with people who do not agree and coming to a conclusion, but it looks like we're not getting there because
we're getting there. You might not agree how stuff is being presented or said, but people are giving their grievances, and this is good. This is healthy.
Yeah,
this is how you cough out the mucus. You spit out the mucus.
Starting something new, Sister Teresa.
This is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm taking from this. Okay, I listened to what everybody said, and there are people that have issues and need. They're not getting the assistance that they need. So what I do, I'm going back to my jurisdiction and talk to my head and say, hey, this is what it was about. And this is what's needed. That's what I do. That's my part.
Okay.
That's my part.
Okay.
No, I want people to be in ARNA that want to be here. You know what I'm saying?
Because they want to be here. It's not about to be here. It's about how, when people are making progress, how it is interrupted because someone feels a certain way. We cannot have an emotional
saying someone with power can using their power in a negative way, and it affects other people.
Exactly. So the thing is, it's not about stopping anyone from doing anything in ARNA. It's not about dividing. It's more so, how do we put, like someone said, checks and balances in place as a community? You know,
it's there. You keep saying that, Nnakina, but it's there. You're saying, like, we're, like you said, that's disrespectful to say that we don't have the capacity.
The Jural Society is not, Arkan. The Jural Society was not elected by people who was selected by the community. Therefore,
okay, my thing is, if people were really nationalists and they took this seriously, that would have never happened. Why are you the only person out? All the people in ARNA,
because they were put fear into being kicked out.
Knowledge breeds confidence. Confidence breeds the ability to overcome fear. It's because you read the Constitution. It's because you have an understanding of the Constitution. It's because you went to Aboriginal University and qualify yourself to speak on law matters. You created a law. You get what I'm saying? You have qualified yourself. It is different, Nnakina. You can't expect them and then hold them. I don't know if you realize that you're holding people to your standard and your preference. And a lot of people is not willing to do what it takes. You have been willing to take and have this done. But people, I know you're being misunderstood, and I sincerely believe you have good intentions. But your approach, and then the people we're dealing with, and I'm going to say it, I'm sorry, I apologize. You cannot build a healthy, productive nation with niggers, coons, and breeders. Our people must sit down, take these courses, and learn and become healthy. That's the core of our problem. You cannot build a nation with niggers and breeders. You must clean yourself. You must consume and learn. Our original university was designed for national, not for you to come in there how Ali presents it, because this is how they're going to take it. It is designed for you to take all 3 courses, go through all 3 phases, and get certified and get three sources of main income, and then employ your family, employ your friends, employ your neighbors, and form a community. The blueprint is there. And like I keep saying, it is not, even if he's dysfunctional, we all have dysfunctions and functions in us individually. But as a whole, we're mostly dysfunctional because of our environment. The key to success is changing your environment. Clean out your refrigerator. Put organic food in there. Go to an organic store. You have to change and follow the blueprint.
I just want to say one thing. For those who think that I'm going to leave ARNA because of Ali or anyone else in here, I will never leave ARNA. I've invested, my children are nationals of ARNA, therefore I will forever stand in ARNA. So me making suggestions as any person of sound mind who operates in society, like, that's what you do. You sound like people who say, go back to Africa, like go back to somewhere else. Like, that's not what this is about. This is about society and you understanding that you have a voice. I'm voicing because I have a voice. You have a voice too. Now, if you let other people tramp your voice because you think that's their space, then that's fine too. But I believe in my rights. I believe in your rights. And therefore, I will stand for other people to not have their rights violated. I've seen businesses destroyed. I've had it done personally. I've seen people be personally attacked by their leadership. It didn't just happen to me. I'm not standing here because of me.
To be fair, there's a protocol and there's laws that we have and there's civil procedures, and you violated that. And especially what really stood out for me, and then made me not be neutral, is when you posted a semi-automatic rifle and you made a threat publicly on Facebook.
Posted that this man has claimed that anyone trying to come out ARNA with a knife would have to get it in blood. Therefore, my retaliation, and that's why I stepped aside. That's why I decided to get
right. And that's an act of tradition.
Excuse me, Sister Nnakina. Excuse me, Sister Nnakina.
Yes, ma'am. You're breaking up.
Is that true? Is it true? Is it fact? Did you directly in your image? One moment. Let me ask the question first, so I can understand your character. So, is it true that you posted a semi-automatic rifle in response to our chief?
I didn't post it to our chief. I posted a picture and a video that my family attacked by a group of people on the internet. And I said, if you guys are about that, I'm right here. It wasn't a sense of me attacking anyone. I was my family. And the thing about it is, I had to realize.
This on record.
This is recorded. I did step back.
Please tell me that.
I realized that energy that was being pushed towards me was taking me to a place that I didn't.
Send me your contact.
Yeah, but you're acting just like the chief. Your conduct, if you had a semi-automatic rifle for your leadership or your organization, because Ali is not the organization, we're the organization. So you pointing the gun at yourself, it still doesn't make sense.
He pointing a gun though. The thing about it is I take full accountability for my actions. Like I said, I was a woman, I have 2 children. I'm just a woman that was attacked by grown men on the internet. And I stand on protecting the family. I did not. Again, this man has information of my family, where I live, how I operate, where I move.
On the record, no men in ARNA, especially officers or jurists or chief ministers, ever made any threat of your children or even your children. Your children had no time and no threat. And I got recommended standing for you with trained husband posted my new pictures and made statements about those.
Can we please, can we please move on from this personal subject that's going down here?
Excuse me, brother. True, I was just asking the question because I'm trying to figure out her character. That's the only reason why I asked that question, because it was alarming. But I don't mean to go off topic.
We can reschedule it if you guys really want change and have a moment to discuss it. I'm not gonna be sitting up here about everybody.
Hey, Sister Nnakina. He is the host who set up this meeting. Please do not be disrespectful. Let her speak. Thank you.
I'd like to say something.
Go ahead.
Whoever brought up Sister Nnakina making a video about protecting her family, I saw it, and I didn't see her making a threat to anybody. I just saw her warning people for if they're going to come after her family, this is what they're going to face. Now, whoever brought that up, I would say that you would do the same thing to protect your family, because things were getting a little out of hand, and she just brought it up to say, hey, this is my family, stop attacking me.
It was not directed towards anybody in ARNA.
That's right. It was not directed toward anybody.
I hear that statement.
So let's get off this topic. Let's get off the topic, because sound to me like you're trying to set her up for a fall.
Exactly.
I'm trying to set her up.
So let's move on. Let's move on, brothers.
Did you still have the video, Nnakina?
It is well documented. I think neutral, and I stood up. I was questioned. I was going to get removed from the Jural Society. I got my position. I got demoted because I said she has a right. She's reading the Constitution. She's a certified jurist. She's a national, and she has given. I am fair. I am just, and I do things on the facts. You don't know me, so let me be clear. If she ever felt that way or thought that way, I would have never came to this meeting. She's sincere. She has a sincere heart. And I know our husband personally before they even got married. So you're making statements like that.
But I think the truth is we just need to get organized. I'm not here to go back and forth. I don't do YouTube. I don't do anything. I want to see us all thriving. That's what this is all about. I want to see us living the life that we deserve as a people. I want to see us able to come to, go ahead, Master Bey. You're on mute.
Okay, so I think it's not necessary for us to do no direct attacks on nobody, even though I understand what the whole situation is with all that, right? If we're going to be more productive, these groups need to form local jurisdictions, get the local jurisdictions in operation, and then we can deal with the greater issues. But we have enough information, we have enough knowledge, we have enough people that's willing to put forth the energy to build up each individual local jurisdiction. That's what's going to give us our power. Focusing on what headquarters is doing is not going to give us our power. We already got the information that we need from headquarters. We have enough information. It takes our due diligence to put local jurisdiction, the local foreign jurisdictions on notice that we're in these locations, we're operating out of these locations, and you have no jurisdictions.
How would we keep the balance of these jurisdictions? The thing about it is trying to heal your body without addressing the cancer. Like, how would we form local jurisdiction but have headquarters undermines us constantly on a daily basis?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
And each local jurisdiction has its own authority.
That's true, but there's a reason there's a president. There's a reason there's the thing about.
I know, but the president. Not to cut you short, but the president can't go into each state and tell a state how to operate.
No, but the thing about it is, when it comes to ARNA, what is being presented is to turn people away.
I think that your heart is good. I think your focus is off.
Okay.
Right? If you can focus on helping the group form their local jurisdictions, empower their local jurisdictions, we'll get a better result. The people who are complaining about the 360 a year, it's sickening. You are saving more than 360 based on you becoming a part of ARNA. You was paying way more in taxes than you are now. So that $1.10 a day that you contribute to the upliftment of your own people is nothing.
I don't think that's the right approach, brother, because the thing
keep saying I'm paying in. I'm paying. 360 ain't nothing.
It's not. It's. I don't think it's about the amount. I don't think it's about the amount. I think it's about the reason why. I think people want clarity on where their funds go. I don't think it's an attack on whether or not
they never. The point that I'm making is they never had clarity where their funds was going in their life. But
then, so you're telling them to continue to operate the way they've operated all their life? I thought we were about changing.
No, this is what I'm saying. That somebody created something that gives you the ability to make more resources than you have ever made in your life without that so-called formal education. And we're more focused. My whole life. And we're more focused on $1.10 than we are on building the business and building the local jurisdictions.
I paid more to ARNA in my lifetime than I ever paid in taxes. So that statement is not true for me.
To be fair, Nnakina,
hold on.
Your business, because you paid that amount, look what you got back. You created an entity under ARNA that
I got told I was a thief. I got told that I paid to be humiliated thousands of dollars. So I don't know about the telling people that they're paying.
The Indigenous of the North generated over $1,000 to $200,000 a year. They had the potential of that. That is record.
Doing that though, that wasn't Ali making my business. That's the thing that it's my business skills that did that. It's people's skills that will create their business. It's not.
But if you didn't have the instructions, you wasn't tax exempt. You weren't able to generate $100,000 to $2,000 within 2 years. Okay, that was the truth. Why you didn't do that before ARNA? Why you didn't do that in the foreign venue with an LLC or S Corp or C Corp in the foreign venue?
To be honest, I probably would have saved more money because $720 paying $500 per person to a system that just is because when again people feel like no one's entitled to anything to the system is absurd. You know, like this is about we have like. If y'all, like I said, I don't need to do this. Like, to be honest, I went away. Let me just say this. I went away and I was personally saying I would never do this again. But God told me, and this is my reason why I'm back, is that I know my heart. And I did this because of the love for the people. Okay, so it was never about no money. Did I become successful? I did become successful. But I realized that also in a success, where if people can target anyone that they disagree with, no one will ever be able to truly function because at the end of the day, if I don't like you, then guess what? I'm closing your business down. So this isn't even about Indigenous to the North. This isn't even about me. This is about protecting every business that will be created in this system. If someone can just say, I'm bringing up charges against you, I'm doing all these things, and then convince other people to destroy your business that is your primary resource. Again, encouraging entrepreneurship, encouraging all these things, but you're not protected in your own system, then what good is the system?
Wait a minute. So you saying you didn't breach the jurors contract with headquarters? You saying
okay, I'm done with this dude, bro. I'm sorry. Why are we shifting the focus onto things Nnakina has done? Okay. I'm here for ARNA. I'm not here about what Nnakina done, what Chief Ali. I don't care about.
But we are ARNA. She's a national ARNA, and she feels like she's been wrong. Because this is her meeting.
Is the thing. How about listen? No, because you talked for like majority of the thing.
You can. No, I did not. No, I did not.
So let me ask the questions now. Let me ask the questions now. You didn't ask like 20 of them. Let me start asking questions now.
If you don't like,
Nnakina is using ARNA to patch up a broken system. True or false? She is the only person.
The system is not broken. The system is not broken. So the person who may be operating the system may be flawed, but the system is not broke. The system is working. The system is producing our people and raising the consciousness of our people.
So if the system is working, if I lose my records, how do I get them back? We don't have files for us.
Yes, we do. I have files for everybody out there.
Let's get him out. Okay. Anyways,
I'm so sorry, Nnakina. I really am. Like this dude is just trying to. It's like he's targeting me.
To continue going back and forth. The thing is,
I'm almost finished with the work.
We all have to come to some form of agreement and come to a conclusion on whether we're going to keep things the way they are or find ways to change it. I know that we have power in our constitutions where we can put the people in place. There's a lot of capable people in here that I know their skills, their talents, their experiences that would make a good fit for our tribe, for us to continue to have representation that matters in the public eye and also personal, so that we can grow. The thing about it is ARNA is not growing. ARNA didn't start to really grow until last year. That's why there's only about 20, 30 of us in here. And the thing is, if we are not going to grow, then we're not going to last. And the thing is, and it's not an attack on anyone, but the goal is to keep ARNA small, because I know many people who have volunteered their time, thank you. I know a lot of people who have invested their time. It's not just me. I'm not here to say I'm the only person who ever decided to do something in ARNA, but what happens to those people? You know what happens to those people? They get attacked every time they're coming up and they're opening up ARNA. And then they're hit with all these accusations, and then they go away. And you know why they go away? Because they realize that everybody else don't care. So it's like, why would I stand in place for a group of people who are willing to take it? I went away, but then I realized that you guys didn't know better. A lot of people still don't know. A lot of people don't understand. And I'm okay with that, because I understand that you can't protect yourself from things you don't know. ARNA is supposed to be a safe space for Aboriginal people of everywhere in America to be able, that resides here, to be able to grow their business, their spirit, and know that people are in place to protect them. Know that there are people in place to speak up for them. No, it's not comfortable. We're all experiencing things on a daily basis that we need help. So trying to tell people just read a protocol manual, just read a constitution is not good enough. And I'm sorry if that's good enough for other people, but it's not fair to me. I don't think it's fair to any of you. And that's why I started Indigenous to the North. It wasn't to take money or get money. It was because I understand that no one's prioritizing educating us the way we should. We either got to pay a course that costs $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 to try to hope we get some information. But let me tell you, it's nothing there. I paid $3,000 for a juris course to get a printer. There's nothing there. This is not an accusation. I'm not speaking from a place of, I don't know. This is, I've seen how vulnerable we are in ARNA. And it is ridiculous because there's no point in it to be this way. So my goal is, again, I'm not saying I have to be chief. I hope I will want to be a part and be elected and hope to be elected and hope that you guys see that I'm fit to at least be some form of guidance. But I'm not here to tell you guys I know it all, or I'm here to give people who know the space. Because the thing is, they're trying to turn the people who know better away because they know that they can continue to control people who don't know. And if you want change, you gotta stand up for it. It's not about being nice or going up. I'm not going anywhere else. You know, why would we go anywhere else? This is a place for us to grow. That's why we signed up to begin with. And for someone to tell you, oh, what's so good? That's what? That's why you have elections. Elections happen every 4 years for people to come together and choose who they want to guide them. Even if one person says differently, then that's what it is. But to tell people, oh, if you don't agree, just go away. Like, no, that we can't, because guess what happens? We continue to break apart, and then then guess what's going to happen next? Oh, there's another disagreement in this group. Oh, well, they broke up. Let's just go over here again. And then we keep breaking, and then we're left with nothing. So we have
excuse me, goddess. Pardon me for interrupting. My phone physical go dead. I just wanted to know,
do you plan on calling another meeting soon?
I do plan on calling another meeting, but it would be more so, again, this was more so a question, getting familiar with one another, hearing each other out, but I'm gonna have suggestions, and I hope you guys study your constitution so that we can come together and make suggestions together on where we should take ARNA. Because to hell with anybody who thinks I'm leaving, because I'm not leaving, and you shouldn't feel like you should leave either, because we all have invested in a system to be our protection. Therefore, we have the right to be here. Like, don't ever let anyone tell you, oh, and no one can be kicked out of ARNA. Ali can't be kicked out. You're not here to kick. People commit murder. Do you see anyone kicking them out to go to exile? Like, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. So do not let people try to hold information over your head to confuse you from progress, because they want to keep you in a state of mind where they can hold knowledge over you. ARNA is here. ARNA is nothing without us. It's nothing without us. Ali is not holding ARNA together. We are. We, the people, are holding ARNA together, just like people in the United States. In the United States is holding the United States together. It is your belief in every system that brings it to life. So we are full creators in this platform, but we're limited because, again, people understand that people are easier to control when they're in a small piece, when they're divided, when they're confused, when they can be manipulated. So that's why there's so much propaganda on, oh, don't listen to this, don't listen to that. Again, they don't want people that think in ARNA. That's the truth. They don't want people who have their own minds in ARNA, because they understand that once people who think are in ARNA, they can't continue to move the way they always have. You understand? ARNA has been this way up until last year. People been paying dues to Ali for no reason since last year. So we have to make a change. It is a beautiful system. I use it. My children use it. Other people I know use it and are thriving. And this needs to be accessible to all of us. But we have to clean up. We have to clean house. And there's ways that we can do that, but we have to educate ourselves. You don't have to say you don't know. You can learn on the Constitution gives you all the rules to govern. Every Constitution gives you all the rules to govern yourself. Like, there's nothing out here that is hidden from you. There's nothing out here to give you, you know, this like, stop saying you don't know. If you know right from wrong, you know. Okay, you know better. So let's do better. Let's create better. Let's hold each other accountable. I gotta go. I know you guys been here for a minute, but we will send out another meeting. But let's come together this time, not to just sit down and talk, but what's our next step? So start thinking about what should our next step be. This is a community thing. This is a, how do we move? You know, I heard the sister say that her jurisdiction is moving and functioning well, and I would love to hear how they're doing. How are you guys implementing this? That's what we have to come together for, not just, you know, see somebody on YouTube or see something else, but how can we get together with the people who are making the moves? Who's going to bring us together? How are we going to link? I'm not here to take over. I'm here trying to join together. So, sister, please tell your people that we would love to hear from them on how they're managing their jurisdiction so that we can help form. This is not a one-party thing. This is a community thing. So please let them know. I would love to hear whoever's, you know, in charge. You said that, you know, you guys have people in different roles. Tell them to reach out to me. I would love to see how we can talk together and see how we can continue to build, you know, jurisdiction together. But that's where we're at. You know, anything that Bill would like to add before they go? No? I appreciate that.
Yeah, I just want to say, despite all the debating going on, I believe, I don't know his name, but it was healthy in a way. Everybody
getting different ideas. But the other brother who spoke up earlier, he was right. I concur with what he said. It's not about you. This is about ARNA. So, you know, even though we got a little derailed a little bit, I believe this is still a productive meeting, and I can't wait for you to organize the next one so we can actually talk about what to do.
Thank you guys for coming. And like I said, you know, this is a thing that we are all building together. This is no one's higher, no one's lower. This is all of us learning. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of. I know it's messy. I know it's discouraging. I know it's a lot that we go through with, you know, dealing with each other. But at the end of the day, we are creating history for ourselves, for our community. People are going to read about this. And we have to make sure that we are standing on the right side, whatever side that is, for our people, because this is something we've never fully seen come about, but we are here and we're doing it. So again, I'm very proud of y'all for being here. I'm proud of all y'all for taking the time to even invest in something where we were all confused. You know, we've all been confused, but we knew that it was something about ARNA. So therefore, you know, that brought us together. And I'm just happy, you know, to continue to build with you guys. Hopefully we can get another meeting. Again, please take your time to do some research, see how we should, you know, see what has been done. Use history to guide you in this new thing, yet old thing that we're doing. It's there. It's at your fingertips. You know, whatever position, whatever information, you know, whatever role you think you can play, think about that, because we're going to need people to step into different positions, and you're going to have to plead your case to the community, because at the end of the day, the community is going to start making decisions on who we are and how we move, because we are the She tribe. So it's going to come down to making sure that you plead your case properly to the people that you're presenting to. If you know that you can be a part of this change and want to volunteer your time and know where you can help ARNA grow, then I hope you really step up to the plate and pick whatever position you think you can stand in. And again, you don't have to be a genius and know-it-all. You just need to show up with some heart and be willing and open to learn. That's what this is all about. Okay, so don't feel like you need to know everything in the book, because that's one thing I learned is no one knows it all. This is this is a team effort. So thank you guys for coming. I will be sending you all a invite, and I think sometime I give it a week or two because I have to see what my schedule is like, but I will keep you guys posted. I will give you guys a email summary of little things that we discussed by Saturday. And yeah, we'll be in touch. Stay blessed, stay beautiful. We'll talk soon, guys. Bye-bye.